Yep, I can't stop. I'm gonna go again. It's now 3:15 in the morning. So okay, I've told this story before, but I'm gonna tell it again. Let me get a good camera angle going here. Something that's kind of decent. Add some cinematography aesthetic to my video. I think that'll work. Okay. So, what's up, man? Anyway, all right. We'll start off the story like this. You remember back in the day when YouTube was good? You know, back like pre 2016, when there was just like so much good stuff on YouTube. It was like packed with all this great shit, right? Okay, you remember them days. I know it's been a long time, and those days are long gone. So you might have to draw back into, go back way back to when YouTube used to be like this freaking phenomenally fucking amazing experience, right? All this information everywhere, free flow of information. You remember that, right? Okay. So back then, I came across this video, and I've never been able to find it since. And it was this really, really good video, and I want to describe it to you. Okay, so it was it was an old, it was like black and white. It was a one of those midnight television programs or something. It was when they would do the edgy shit, and it was still black and white TV. I couldn't believe it. I mean, this video, even though it was like black and white television, it was so far ahead of its time. Like they're so far ahead of all this crap, modern day crap you see all the time. And it was this guy, and he's some kind of famous guy back then, for his television program, because he would always talk about, engaging shit, and was like everybody was tripping out on, adults, the adults in it. And he was, and it was one of his TV segments, and he was talking about success. He started talking about success and what is success, because we're all taught of what success, and he was basically exposing the education system, that it's indoctrination, because what we're told is success is different than what success actually truly is. And he was like explaining this very eloquently. He was wearing a suit. He was in his little at his desk with his library behind him, and he was very well spoken, intelligent guy. Like, this guy is not a dumb motherfucker. And so he's talking about how, and it's an adult program, right? And he's talking about how, that the education system has indoctrinated everyone to believe that success is something that it's not. And and so he was challenging what is success, because isn't that what we're all trained like Pavlovian dogs to seek, is success, right? And he's like, well, what is success? And so he does this great narration about this. Like, he's just slam dunking this shit, like what success truly is, as opposed to what we are told and led to believe success is, and that there's a vast difference between those two things. And he said, I'm telling you, this is like way ahead of its time, even today, by modern standards, way ahead of its time. And I'm talking about black and white television program. This guy was fucking, he was edgy as fuck, man. And he said that, if you're really truly seeking success, which again, that's what we're all led to, that's what we're told to do, is success, right? Success, it's all about success. And he's explaining, like, if you really want to find success and discover what it is and seek out success, it's very easy. This is how you do it. Look at what everyone else is doing. Look at what everyone else is doing. And then don't do that. Don't do what. Look at all these people and what they're doing, and don't do what they're doing. That's how you achieve true success. So he was right. You think about, like, okay, Barnes, for whatever Barnes was worth, at least he was telling people that the master class controls everyone through fashion and trends. Barnes was trying to leak that information to the public, that the master class controls everyone through fashion and trends. He was leaking that secret. It was like a whistleblowing moment for Barnes when he was trying to tell people that the master class controls everyone through fashion and trends. And then think about what this guy's saying is if you want success, look at what everyone else is doing and don't do that. Do something completely different. Go against the grain. And so this guy is saying the same thing as he's trying to tell people the same thing that Barnes was. Only he's probably trying to use reverse psychology because nobody's listening. Barnes is saying that the master class controls everyone through fashion and trends. So if you don't want to be controlled, how do you respond to fashion and trends? Is you do the opposite. Don't only the sheeple follow fashion and trends. And that's how the master class controls everyone, through fashion and trends. So whenever you see something trendy or fashionable, just like that guy said, success is to do not jump on that trend or fashion. Don't do it. Do something completely different. But you see, it's safe to go along with whatever's trending and fashionable. That's how the master class controls everyone through fashion and trends, is because everybody's just seeking security and safety. What was it? Who said that? Benjamin Franklin. If you value safety and security more than liberty and freedom, you deserve neither safety, security, or liberty or freedom. You don't deserve any of those things. And that's why this country has gone to shit in a fucking diarrhea bucket, is because everybody's seeking security and safety. Nobody's seeking liberty and freedom. And that's why Benjamin Franklin or whoever it was, I don't care if he's a Freemason, who cares? You don't understand. The truth is the truth, no matter if a Freemason says it or if the last honest man on the earth says it. It doesn't matter who says it. The truth is the fucking truth. And that is the truth. That if you put more importance on safety and security than you do liberty and freedom, then you deserve none of those things, and you will not attain any of those things. And that's the problem. And it's safe to just jump on the trend, because then you're just towing the status quo line, You're just like everybody else. That's safe. The risk is doing something different than what everyone else is doing. Again, that's why this guy is trying to explain. If you want to succeed, look at what everyone else is doing. Look at all the different trends and fashions they're all jumping on and following, and don't do what they're doing. Don't do it. See, they're going to want to draw you in. They're going to be looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Everyone else is wearing, pink Carhartts. How come you're not wearing your pink Carhartt overalls? We're all wearing them. But the thing is they're all the big clown show. And because you're not dressed up like a clown like they are, they're all looking at you like, what's wrong with you? Just like Idiocracy. And this is black and white television. This was shit. It was like in the late 50s or something. This guy's, even Barnes was saying that about that the master class controls everyone through fashion and trends. He was saying that like back in the fucking 60s, dude. Late 60s. And what do you hear today? What do you hear today? Oh, whatever they're saying and it's on trending and popular on BitChute. That's what I listen to. What's trending and popular on BitChute? Yeah, and what's trending and popular on BitChute right now? It's the Jays. It's the Jays. It's the Jays. Okay, so this is my point. It has never failed that whatever is trending and fashionable always is a lost prospect. Anytime you follow any trend or fashion, it's never built to last. It always just fades into obscurity and everybody forgets about it. And a lot of times they look back and laugh at how stupid it was. All trends and fashions, that's all it is. Same thing every single time. Every single time. And what's funny is whenever the latest trend comes up, they always try to say, oh, this time it's different. Oh, you don't understand. You're not waking up. Everyone else is starting to wake up, man. And you're just not waking up, man. Everybody else is wearing the clown suit because they've all woken up to the truth. But you're not wearing your clown suit, you know? What's wrong with you? And It's the Jays is like the biggest fashionable trendy thing that's going on BitChute right now. And then I'll have people telling me, well, the only reason that it's fashionable and trendy is because that people are finally waking up and starting to see the truth. You know, look at what's trendy. What's everybody doing? That's how you can tell what's bullshit. That's how you can tell. It's like a totally no-brainer. It's so easy. Like, what is everyone else doing? Oh, everyone's blasting off on DMT and talking about DMT and talking about ayahuasca and talking about, you know, frog venom and, you know, and what else is like super popular besides DMT and ayahuasca and frog venom? Oh, let's see. You know, you name it. Like, there's everything all this popular shit everywhere. Trending. That's so trendy. DMT is so trendy. Ayahuasca is so trendy. You know, frog venom is so trendy. All these things that are trendy, you're just like, I mean, and again, this goes back to just experience. This is just experience. As you get older, you figure all this out. But that's the thing, that with these millennials and Zoomers all over the internet, they think that they got it all figured out, and then they're trying to lecture me. They're like, well, you don't know it's the Jays? And I'm like, what? What do you mean it's the Jays? Actually, you know, technically the J word has never even been defined. It's debated to this very day as to whether the origins of the J word were intended to define a bloodline or a culture. You know, like it's like the Jays. Okay, well, what about the Americans? Well, you've got Americans that are Chinese. You've got Americans that are you know, Asian, all different Asian descents. You've got Americans that are all different European descents. You've got Americans that are all different of every single fucking race on the whole planet. That'd be like saying that Americans is a race of people. Americans isn't a race of people, and you know that because there's every single race of people on the planet populate America. Well, it's the same with the J word. There's debate unto this day. The origins of the J word, was it in regards to a race or not? Because like Americans isn't referencing, the word American doesn't reference a race of people. But so then, even though this has been debated, it is debated until this day what the actual meaning of the J word is. You got people using the J word as if they already know what the J word is. They already know what it means. And if you don't know, well, you're stupid. Don't you know it's the J's? It's the J's. Well, what is a J? Well, what even is a J? You don't know what a J is? Like, I mean, people, they're dumb, dude. People are just dumb, man. So dumb. The masses are just dumb. That's why you never trust a trend. And anytime you see a trend, you know that the base followers of any trend are all the sheeple. So why would you not question a trend? And it's like, it's the Jays is the trend. And so when I question it, then all the sheeple say, well, why are you questioning that it's this trend? Because, and I'm like, because it's a trend. Well, that's what you do with trends, always. Always question anything that's fashionable and trendy and popular. Always. Like, well, no, it's the Jays, man. You shouldn't question that. What? You don't know it's the Jays? And it's like, well, if every other trend has always failed, no trend has ever stood the test of time. But this one particular time, it's different. That's like the hubris with that idea. And that's all these people that they just insist that this trend is different than every other trend that has ever fucking existed in the history of the world. Even though every other trend in the history of the world, every other trend has failed. This particular, it's the Jays trend, it's not going to fail because it's the truth. And that's why it's trending, is because it's the truth. It's really sad. It's really sad. And then you'll see people that, you think, well, this person seems fairly decent, decent person. And then next thing you know, they're talking about it's the Jays. They're like, it's the Jays. You see them around town. They're all, it's the Jays. It's the Jays. And you're like, dude, what? I thought this guy wasn't a sellout kind of type of person. I thought this person was a free thinker. And then I'm looking at him and like all day, it's the Jays, it's the Jays, it's the Jays. It's like, all right, man. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? That's just the way. And so because it's so trendy, it's the Jays is so trendy, every time I question it, like I'm doing in this video, people are like, bro, how can you be so out of touch with what's really going on, man? You haven't figured it out yet? It's the Jays? You don't know it's the Jays? Well, if it's the Jays, how come it's so trendy? How come it's the big trendy thing on any platform that isn't censored? It's trending on it. There is no platform that isn't censored, by the way. But everybody seems to think that there are platforms that aren't censored, and that BitChute is one of them. BitChute is censored just like YouTube. BitChute censors people in a different way than YouTube does. But any platform like that allows this, it's the Jays, which I agree, it should be allowed. I guess. Actually, you know what? I don't know. Who knows? But whatever the case, either way on that, why is it so trendy on BitChute and probably Odyssey and probably even Rumble? And why is it so trendy? So you're telling me that the reason it's trendy is because people are waking up to the truth? Forgive my skepticism on that. The most intelligent people have always said the same thing, is this: look at what everybody's doing. Look at all these trends and fashions and everything that's popular. And don't do that. Stay away from those things. That's how you achieve success. All the most intelligent, most highly intelligent people in the history of the world have always said that. Always. But you're telling me this time it's different. This time the trend is actually the thing you should be following. and I just, but there's nothing I can say to try to challenge these people because in their mind, they're too smart. They're too smart. It isn't that people are too stupid to understand what I'm saying. It's that people are too smart. They're just too smart, man. They know it all, man. You can't teach them nothing because they already know everything, even though they're a Zoomer or even a millennial. I'm sorry, but I've spent enough time around millennials that I won't be really doing that anymore. You know, I mean, I don't mind interacting with them, but I'm not going to be getting real close to any millennials because they still have living to do. They're naive. They'll jump on whatever's trendy and popular and fashionable because they haven't figured it out yet. And you can't teach somebody who already knows everything, right? You ever tried to do that, like relay information to somebody that already knows everything? It's impossible. Why? Because they already know everything, man. They're not like me and you. Me and you, we don't know everything. But those people that know everything, they're just too fucking smart. They just know everything. They're not like me and you. Me and you, we don't know everything. But those other people, those know-it-alls that know everything, yeah. It's the Jays. It's the Jays. It's the Jays. Yeah, and that's everything. It's the Jays is everything to them. That's everything. No matter what it is. Oh, somebody burnt my coffee. I made some coffee and it's like burnt. Well, how did this happen? Oh, you don't know it's the Jays? Everything is the Jays. I bought some tomatoes and when I got them home and I pulled them out, one of them was like broken. It's like, what the fuck is this? What happened? What's wrong with this tomato? I just bought it. How come this tomato is like malfunctioned and stuff? Oh, you don't know? It's the Jays. I mean, you name it, anything. A pair of pants I just had to throw away the other day because they're like falling apart at the seams and shit. It's like, what the fuck happened? What happened to my pants? Oh, don't you know it's the Jays? You name it. And I'm not being hyperbolic here, man. Everything is the Jays, man. It's all the Jays' fault, man. You don't know that? This is the logic, and I'm not being hyperbolic when I'm describing and illustrating the logic in the whole thing. Everything is the Jays. Everything is. Every problem that's ever existed and ever will in the whole world, everything is the Jays. So, anyways, it's an interesting trend.